You know that sci-fi dream of a universal translator? The kind of thing you see in movies where someone puts a device in their ear and it can suddenly understand any language? Well, what if I told you it's not really science fiction anymore? Today, we're diving into the incredible new AI-powered features in Google Translate that are making that dream a reality. Let's get into it.
Seriously, just take a second and think about this. What if you could hop on a plane, land in any country in the world, and just understand everything? The conversations on the street, the signs, the menu at a local restaurant. It's an idea that's always felt so far off, but it's actually getting a whole lot closer than you might think.
All right, first up is a feature that honestly feels like it's been pulled straight out of the future. Imagine you're walking through a busy market in, say, Mexico City. Someone starts talking to you in rapid-fire Spanish, and instead of fumbling for your phone, you just hear a clear English translation whispered right into your ear. And that's exactly what the new Live Translate feature does. You can use pretty much any pair of headphones, and it's like having a personal, real-time interpreter with you 24/7. This is a total game changer for travel, right? It could turn what might have been a confusing or stressful moment into a real, genuine human connection. And you know what the best part is? It is ridiculously easy to use. There's no complicated setup or fancy hardware you have to buy. You literally just open the app you already have, tap one button for Live Translate, and that's it. You're ready to go. The barrier to entry for this futuristic tech is practically zero.
But here's the detail that makes this feel, well, magical. This isn't just some monotone, robotic voice reading out words. The AI is now smart enough to actually preserve the tone and the pacing of the person who's speaking. And that little detail is everything, because it makes the conversation feel so much more natural and human. It's a huge deal for real communication.
So, where can you get this? Well, the rollout is happening right now. It's currently in beta for Android users in the US, Mexico, and India. And it already supports over 70 languages right out of the gate, which is pretty wild. For all you iOS users, don't worry. It's planned to come your way along with a wider global rollout in 2026 as they perfect the technology.
So you're probably wondering, how on earth does this even work? How is all this magic possible? Well, this isn't just some small update to the app. This is a massive leap forward in artificial intelligence. And to understand it, we've got to look under the hood at the engine that's driving all of this. Google's super powerful AI model, Gemini.
The easiest way to think about Gemini is that it's the new, much smarter brain behind Google Translate. See, older translation tools were basically just glorified dictionaries. They swapped words. But Gemini understands context. It gets slang, it gets cultural references, and it gets those tricky little idioms that usually just get totally mangled in translation.
And this right here is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Before Gemini, if you tried to translate an idiom like he kicked the bucket, you'd get a literal and frankly very confusing result like he hit the container with his foot. But now, with Gemini, it understands the meaning behind the words and gives you what you actually want. He passed away. That shift from literal to natural is the giant leap we're seeing. So at the end of the day, Gemini is making translation not just more accurate, but fundamentally more human. And these major contextual improvements are already being rolled out for English translations into almost 20 other languages across Android, iOS, and even on the web.
But Google isn't stopping with just real-time conversations. They're also using this exact same powerful AI to transform the Translate app into something else entirely, a surprisingly good personal language tutor.
And they are not messing around with this rollout. These new language learning tools are expanding to nearly 20 more countries. This is a huge signal that Google doesn't just see Translate as a simple utility anymore. They're positioning it as a full-blown educational platform.
And the tools themselves are actually really impressive. You can now practice speaking and get super detailed feedback on your pronunciation and grammar. They've even gamified it a bit, adding a daily streak tracker to keep you motivated. You know, with features like these, Translate is suddenly throwing its hat in the ring and competing directly with apps like Duolingo or Babbel.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you've got instant in-ear translation, and AI that understands nuance and slang, and powerful language tutoring tools all in one app. It really makes you wonder. It raises this massive question about the future of language itself.
Just think about it for a second. If you have a perfect real-time translator with you at all times, will we even need to spend all those years learning another language? Or is there something more to it, something that gets lost when we rely on a machine? It's a really fascinating question to think about as this technology starts to reshape our world. What do you think?